What's going on, guys? BroncoJuggalo. Welcome to another edition of Grilling with BroncoJuggalo. So we got here. Today we are doing sausages and hot dogs. Cheapo American meal, but a classic and a favorite of mine, personally. All nice on the fire. Got a beer going. Throat's still a little scratchy. Sorry. The more I talk, the more it gets. Cheers. So anyways, guys, today we are going to do Sean Ershen's Modern Horror Tag. And yeah, I'm doing it gorilla style again. I'm holding the camera, so bear with me. Sean, you had to make this thing so long. Now I gotta hold my arm up this long. 8 questions, bro. 8 questions. Question number 1. What is your favorite modern horror film? Oh, that's a tough one, bro. It really is. There's a few good ones. But I'm definitely going to have to go with The Collector. I love The Collector. It is so awesome. I absolutely love it. I don't pick Freddy vs. Jason because that is established off of a franchise that was not a modern horror franchise. I'm just going with the stuff from 2000 and beyond. So even though that is a better, I like that movie more than I like The Collector, Freddy vs. Jason, and the 2009 remake and all those, I'm not going with any of those. Anything that was established before the new millennium, I'm not using. Unless I do it by mistake. So, question number 2. Who is your favorite modern horror icon? Honestly, I don't know if there really are any modern horror icons yet. I mean, to be an icon, you got to be around for a while. And it's been only 18 years. So, I don't know, even like Freddy and Jason back in the 90s weren't, I don't know if they'd be considered icons in like the early 90s or so. I mean, maybe. If there is a modern horror icon, I would have to say it's Jigsaw. And, you know, the Bill, the little puppet. So, yeah, I think Jigsaw, I guess. Is he my favorite horror character? No, but I'd say he's the only icon that I can think of. I don't think Victor Crowley's an icon. The Collector's not an icon yet. The Conjuring films, there's no central character to base that out of, so... You know, the Sinister films even, you know, not really a character to base it on. There's the Demon, but... Yeah, it's... I mean, you know... Out of the modern horror films, I think the only one that we could call an icon right now is Jigsaw. So, just my opinion. Question number 3. Do you agree with the decision to make The Conjuring a spin-off universe, or should have just kept with the Conjuring films? Here's my thing about that. Any kind of haunted house film or demon possession film, things like that, in my mind, should not have sequels. Okay, it should all be spin-off films. Because, okay, the Amityville Horror, unless you have 50 movies of all people moving into the same house, which I believe that is what most of the Amityville Horror franchise is, and most of those are crap, so... You know, like The Conjuring 2, I guess you could call it The Conjuring 2, but I thought it should have been called something else. You know, it wasn't the same house, it wasn't the same people. These are going to be done quick. This fire is going, if you know what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm turning my meat here. Playing with my wieners. You know, all those good puns and innuendos. So yeah, I have no problem with the way they're doing it. I don't know if I would have called it the Conjuring universe. Maybe like the Warren verse or something like that. because a lot of the stories so far have centered around cases the Warrens have investigated or colleagues of theirs have investigated. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I've got all these questions written down, Sean. I couldn't remember them all. I'm sorry. Question number 4 is: it follows a modern classic or a shameless ripoff of an 80s classic? Honestly, I think that it follows this shitty-ass movie, so it's definitely not a modern classic. And if it's a ripoff of anything, it's another modern-day film, which is Final Destination. I don't feel that it bears any resemblance to an 80s film at all. Holy shit, speaking of horror movies, it sounds like somebody's over murdering in my next door's house. My neighbor's house. I think it's just the kids playing, but screaming like bloody murder. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, I find it to be a Final Destination ripoff. Sex being the killer, this unseen killer. It's the same as death being the killer, and those are both, in my opinions, huge cop-outs, which is probably why I didn't like either of those movies that much. I really didn't. I'm sorry. I don't think that It Follows is a good film. It's boring. I can barely stay awake through most of it. I finally did finish it. Like the last 10 minutes of it were entertaining. For barely entertaining. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Sorry. I know a lot of people out there disagree with me and think that It Follows is some like freaking revolutionary thing. And I don't see why it's not. So, let's see. Where was I? Question number 5. Was The Meg a fun thrill ride, a cheese fest, a scary horror film, or a bust? I haven't seen The Meg yet, so I honestly can't say. I'm hoping it's a fun thrill ride. I don't know if I'd call it a horror movie, but then again, I don't think of Jaws as a horror movie. I love the book, The Meg. I've had that book since it came out. And I love it. And I was waiting for it to be made into a film for years. On the cover of that book, it flat out says, soon to be a major motion picture. Well, that was 30 years ago almost. Sometime in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And it's just now getting its motion picture release. So... my meat's all almost done. So yeah, I really can't say, but I hope it's good. Question number 6. Is the remake fad over, or are there still more classics to be made into remakes? If so, what films would you like to see? I'm going to kind of steal an answer from my buddy Jason. There are some films I think should be remade, but those are bad films, pretty much, that have potential. Good classic films, I'd say, for the most part, leave them alone. I don't think you should remake it. Do I think that the remake craze is over? Absolutely not. Hollywood will forever make movies and remake movies as long as they see a mighty dollar sign in front that they can capitalize on. However, there are some remakes I truly love. Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I'm sorry. Whoa, no. Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, Friday the 13th remake, The Thing, House of Wax, all great remakes. House on Haunted Hill, I like that one too. Hills Have Eyes, good remake. So there are some, I don't mind it being remade. I was really excited for the Nightmare on Elm Street remake because I knew we were finally going to get another Nightmare on Elm Street film. I just hated what they did with it. If there is one classic I want to see remade again, it's that one. And hopefully they just bring back Robert Englund. It maybe not even remade, just resequeled, something. But, yeah. They could do what they're doing with Halloween, in my opinion, with that one. Which actually leads into another question, but I gotta wait till I get there, so. Hang on. Gotta pull the meat off. Okay, so the meat is done. Turn our grill off here. Always leave the last burner open when you're using a propane grill. turn your propane tank off and let it take it out. Some people say that's bad for it. That is a load of bullshit. It makes sure that your propane lines are clear and you don't have any accidental explosions the next time you try to light up when your starter is out and you have to use a lighter or something. So, we're going to finish this tank, then we're going to go inside and we're going to eat. So, okay, question number 7. Do you prefer slow burns like Hereditary and Babadook, or do you prefer gore fests like Saw and Hostel? It just depends on what I'm in the mood for. I love a good story. Good story can't be replaced by anything. But there are some days where I do just want to turn my brain off and watch a bunch of kills. And watch a bunch of blood and watch a bunch of people get slaughtered. So, especially if I'm having a bad day at work, then I picture, like, people over their heads, you know what I mean? So, anyways, it just depends. I like them both. My favorite genre of film of horror is slasher, so I do like gore. But then again, if it's done right, a slow burn slasher can be done so well. A slow burn slasher like Halloween 1 or 2 is awesome. Question number 8. Do you feel The Walking Dead has run its course or has plenty of gas left in the tank? Honestly, can't say. I've missed most of the last season or 2. I was very still interested in it. I'm up to the part where Negan and the preacher are trapped in the little trailer together. And that's where I'm at right now, so I really couldn't answer that, honestly. I think it still has stories to tell. I'm a little weirded out by Rick leaving. I don't like some of the stories they've gone in, honestly. And I think they've given way too much attention to some of these other characters that I care nothing about. Question number 9. Old franchises like Halloween and Terminator are bringing back old characters and old actors, or, original actors. Do you think other franchises could benefit from this, and which ones? Definitely Nightmare on Elm Street. That's pretty much the only one I can think of. Because we'll see how it goes with Halloween, but Terminator, I don't know if that's a great example of it succeeding, because Genesis sucked. That was just bad. Revelations was weird and mediocre and had nothing to do with the rest of it that I could tell. It did tie in, but it was just crap. So, Genesis was okay if you turn your brain off, I guess. I better hurry, it's starting to rain. Question number 10. Does the vampire genre have a place with modern horror films? Yes, if it's done right, and if we can get some new films. I would love to see a resurgence in Blade. I love Blade. That's one I would love to see come back, a fourth Blade film. It's got to be Wesley Snipes, though. And a storyline I would love is if Blade killed all of the vampires from Twilight. That would be awesome. Question number 11. What is your favorite ghost story or haunted house film in the modern era? Definitely The Conjuring. I don't know if that's considered a ghost story or haunted house film. It's a possession / haunted house, I guess. So yeah, definitely The Conjuring, hands down. Number 12, your thoughts on Stranger Things. Is it a masterpiece, or is it just, I forget the word you used, Sean, I'm sorry, nostalgia and fan placating, basically, feeding the fans? No, I don't think it's that, because I'm not very nostalgic about it. Yeah, there's a couple things I see, like when I see a He-Man action figure, like, oh, that's cool, I love that. But honestly, that's not what it is for me. That movie, or that series, is just really good. The story is amazing. I don't know if I would call it a modern masterpiece, though. It's really good, but I don't know if I'd go that far. Like, in the first season, the first 4 or so episodes kind of dragged, and it wasn't until after those that I got into them, really. So, yeah, I don't know if I'd go as far as calling it a modern masterpiece, but it's definitely not just fan service or nostalgia. I think it's pretty good. So, anyways, guys, BroncoJuggalo, sorry for that. I just was in the shadows. BroncoJuggalo, my fam, we're going inside. We're going to eat some sausages. we're gonna eat some weenies, and then I got a buddy coming over, and we're gonna have some fun with him. So, anyways, talk to you later. Peace.